Well, hold on tight because today, we're diving into a coin that could turn your loose change into life-changing cash. That's right. The 1981 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be worth millions of dollars under the right conditions. Yes, a small copper coin that you might just overlook could actually make you a millionaire. Stick around as we break down what makes this particular penny so rare and valuable. You might even discover that you've had one all along. So let's jump into the fascinating world of this remarkable coin. First, let's rewind a bit. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, becoming the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the iconic image of Lincoln has remained on the obverse front of the penny ever since. By 1981, the Lincoln penny had been circulating for over 70 years. But something big was just around the corner. In 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the penny's composition from 95% copper to primarily zinc with a thin copper coating to cut production costs. That makes 1981 the final full year of the classic copper Lincoln cent, already adding value to coins from that year. But what makes the 1981 no-mint mark penny so special? Let's dig into the details. Now, let's talk about what you'll actually see on the 1981 Lincoln penny. On the obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's bust facing right, the words "In God We Trust" at the top, Liberty on the left side, and the year 1981 on the right. If there's no mint mark under the year, you have a coin minted in Philadelphia. Now flip it over to the reverse, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial. Centered beautifully, the phrases United States of America and E Pluribus Unum above and 1 cent at the bottom. It may look like a typical penny, but certain hidden characteristics can turn this ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. So, what's the deal with the no mint mark? Most U.S. coins include a small letter that tells us where the coin was made. D for Denver's for San Francisco, and no mark usually means Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint didn't consistently use mint marks on Lincoln cents until 2017, so having no mint mark in 1981 isn't unusual. But what makes some of these 1981 no-mint mark pennies valuable is how they were struck, and in rare cases, how they were misstruck. These rare errors and perfect specimens can be worth a fortune. Alright, let's get to the juicy part: coin errors and varieties. Here are a few reasons why some 1981 no-mint mark pennies are so valuable. Some 1981 pennies feature a doubling of the lettering, especially on Liberty or In God We Trust. These are known as double die obverse errors and are very sought after by collectors. If your penny looks like the design is shifted way off to one side, it might be an off-center error. The more dramatic, the more valuable, especially if the date is still visible. These are raised lines or blobs where the die used to strike the coin had a crack or damage. Unique and collectible, if your 1981 penny is in near-perfect condition, known as MS67 or higher, and has great luster, sharp detail, and no wear, it can be worth thousands, even millions in rare auction scenarios. And here's the kicker: a few extremely rare specimens have shown multiple rare features at once, which sends collectors into bidding frenzies. Let's talk numbers. What's a 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny really worth? It might only be worth 1 to 10 cents. Nothing too exciting yet. Money bag in uncirculated or mint state condition, MS65 or higher, you could be looking at $50 to $300, depending on the market. Money bag, now here's where it gets wild. A 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a double die error, off-center strike, or ultra-high grade has sold for up to $1.5 million at rare coin auctions. That's right, $1.5 million for one tiny penny. Collectors are always looking for the next gem, especially the final year copper pennies like the 1981 edition. The rarity combined with condition and striking errors creates the perfect storm for sky-high prices. Why heavy check mark? Check your change jars, drawers, and old coin rolls. Look closely at any 1981 Lincoln pennies without a mint mark. Why heavy check mark? Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to inspect the lettering for doubling. Look for signs of wear or rare errors like off-center strikes or die cracks. And if you think you have a rare one, get it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. That little investment could lead to a life-changing payday. Millions of people walk past fortunes every day without even knowing it. Don't let that be you. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual penny, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden coin treasures that could be sitting in your pocket right now. We're diving into one of the most surprising treasures in American coin collecting, the rare and mysterious 1968 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny coin. If you've got an old jar of coins at home, you might want to dig through it after watching this video. Direct hit stick around as we reveal what makes this penny so valuable, the hidden errors collectors are hunting for, and how you can check if you have one of these million-dollar gems hiding in plain sight. Let's rewind a little. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has seen several design tweaks and metal composition changes. But the 1968 version? It has a story all its own. United States. By 1968, the U.S. Mint was recovering from a coin shortage and had recently resumed mint marks, which had been removed from coins between 1965 and 1967 to discourage hoarding. So when mint marks returned in 1968, collectors were paying close attention. Now, here's what a normal 1968 Lincoln penny should look like. Abraham Lincoln's bust, with the words, "In God We Trust." Above, Liberty. On the left, and the date, 1968. On the right, the Lincoln Memorial design, with United States of America on top and 1 cent below, and E Pluribus Unum. Above the memorial, round pushpin. Most 1968 pennies were minted in Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, and carry those mint marks. But the rare and valuable version we're talking about today has no mint mark at all, and that's exactly what makes it so special. So how did a 1968 penny end up without a mint mark? Well, most no mint mark pennies from this year came from the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at the time. But here's the twist. In some extremely rare cases, error coins were struck without mint marks when they should have had one, or they were struck with unique die varieties that make them incredibly collectible. Brain collectors speculate that a few of these pennies were accidentally produced using proof dies, or with misaligned dies, giving them sharper details or strange anomalies. Combine that with their scarcity, and you've got a penny that sends collectors into a frenzy. Here are the key errors and variations to look for in a 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Look at Liberty. In God We Trust. And the date. If the letters or numbers appear doubled, you may have struck gold, literally. These appear like raised lines or bumps on Lincoln's face or the memorial. While common, some can be dramatic enough to raise value. If part of the design is missing or shifted, it might be an off-center strike. Rare and valuable in high grades. Even without errors, a perfectly preserved 1968 penny with no mint mark can command huge premiums. Now to the part everyone's waiting for. How much is this coin worth? Heavy check mark. A regular 1968 penny with no mint mark in circulated condition is worth 1 to 5 cents, nothing special. Heavy check mark, but a high-grade MS65 or MS67 version with no mint mark. Strong luster, and error features like doubling or unique die marks has sold for over $25,000 to $100,000 at auction. First place metal but weight, an extremely rare error coin, verified and graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC, was once estimated at over $1.8 million due to its combination of a perfect strike, no mint mark, and double die averse. Only 1 or 2 examples are believed to exist, which is why they're so valuable. Want to know if you're holding a treasure? Look for the absence of a mint mark below the date. Inspect for doubling or errors. Use a grading scale. Coins graded MS63 or higher are highly sought after. Submit to a professional grading service. PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, can authenticate and value your coin. Luggage. And remember, always store valuable coins in a plastic holder or coin flip to protect them from scratches or damage. Who would have thought that a tiny 1968 penny with no mint mark could be a life-changing find? Whether it's hiding in your piggy bank, tucked in an old drawer, or mixed in with pocket change, you never know what treasure you might have. And now that you know what to look for, you're one step closer to striking it rich. We're diving into the 1985 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny coin, a coin that has shocked collectors with its insane auction prices and mysterious features. Grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. First, a little backstory. The Lincoln cent has been around since 1909, introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin replaced the Indian head cent and quickly became one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Fast forward to 1985. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies, mostly from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But here's where things get interesting. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint traditionally didn't carry a mint mark until 2017, meaning if your 1985 penny has no mint mark, it was struck in Philly. Now, while most 1985 Lincoln pennies are only worth face value, there are a few exceptions that have become highly collectible and extremely valuable. Abraham Lincoln's portrait, facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust," at the top, Liberty, on the left, and the date 1985 on the right. The Lincoln Memorial, along with United States of America, and the phrase, E pluribus unum, and of course, the denomination, 1 cent, at the bottom. Most 1985 pennies were made of a copper-plated zinc composition, that's 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, a change that started in 1982 to reduce minting costs. So what makes some of these coins skyrocket in value? This is where things get exciting. While the majority of 1985 no-mint mark pennies are common, rare minting errors have made some of them highly desirable for collectors. Double die obverse, DDO, this is where parts of the front of the coin, like Liberty, or the date, 1985, appear doubled. These errors happen during the striking process and can increase a penny's value dramatically. If your penny is misaligned and part of the design is missing or pushed to one side, this off-center strike can make it worth hundreds or even thousands depending on how dramatic it is. Clipped planchet. This error happens when a portion of the penny is literally missing, as if a piece was bitten off. These are rare and highly collectible. BIE error. A tiny die break between the B and E in Liberty can look like a capital I. These are fun to find and can fetch a premium. Wrong planchet strike. Occasionally, a penny is struck on a dime or foreign coin blank. These bizarre errors can be worth tens of thousands. Now here's the $1 million secret. A 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a rare double die error in pristine condition, graded MS68 or higher, has been valued at over $1.5 million at private auctions. That's right. A simple error turned this copper-colored coin into a fortune. So how can you tell if your 1985 penny is worth a fortune? Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the lettering, date, and Lincoln's features. Check for doubling or unusual shapes. A standard 1985 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it weighs more or less, you might have a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Genuine mint errors increase value, but post-mint damage usually doesn't. If you think you've found something rare, send your coin to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. A coin graded MS66 or higher can drastically increase in value. A regular 1985 no-mint mark penny in circulated condition? Probably only worth 1 cent. A coin in mint state condition, MS65 or above, could fetch $50 to $200. A rare DDO or other major error coin in excellent condition? That's where you're talking thousands to over $1 million, especially if it's a unique find with authenticated grading. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for coins like these. As the hobby grows and demand rises, prices are skyrocketing. So there you have it. The amazing story of the 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could be hiding in your change jar right now, waiting to turn into a life-changing discovery. If you learned something new today or you're excited to check your own coins, give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget. Subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories of rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable finds. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below if you have a 1985 penny or any coin you want us to cover next. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune. We're diving into the story behind the 1988 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that has shocked collectors with its value and rarity. We'll explore what makes this penny so special, the fascinating history behind it, the rare error that sends its value skyrocketing, and how you can tell if you have one. Direct hit: if you're 30, 50, or even 70 years old, stick with me, because this could be the most valuable penny hunt of your life. Books. Let's take a step back in time. The year was 1988. George H. W. Bush was elected president, the Berlin Wall was still standing, and the U.S. Mint was striking billions of Lincoln cents. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, was designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, can still be found on modern pennies. But what's more important is the small details that most people overlook. Glowing star. In 1988, most pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and a small number from San Francisco, proof coins with S mint mark. Over 6.9 billion pennies were minted that year, but only a tiny fraction have the rare characteristics we're about to reveal. Magnifying glass tilted left. Now, what does the 1988 Lincoln penny look like? Classic profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust." At the top, Liberty. To the left, and the date, 1988. To the right, the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the words, "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and 1 cent. Pushpin. The no mint mark simply means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but not all Philadelphia pennies are valuable, except for the ones with a secret minting error. Fire. Here's where things get exciting. Some 1988 Lincoln pennies contain a reverse of 1989. This is the million-dollar mistake. Brain. What does that mean? Well, the U.S. Mint used a reverse design intended for the 1989 penny, but by accident, some of these dies were used early, in 1988. Look at the FG initials on the reverse, to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. On the standard 1988 reverse, the letters are spaced slightly farther apart. But on the 1989 reverse used in error, the G in FG touches the Lincoln Memorial building, a dead giveaway of the rare variety, money bag. This rare 1988 with the 1989 reverse is often called the 1988 transitional reverse. Only a small number of these escape the mint, making them extremely valuable to collectors. Chart increasing. So, how much is it worth? Regular 1988 no mint mark pennies are worth face value in circulated condition. But the 1988 reverse of 1989 era penny? These have sold for thousands of dollars in circulated grades and over $1.1 million in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially when certified by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Gemstone. A verified MS68, mint state, grade with a full clear transitional reverse can command life-changing amounts at auction. Some private collectors are willing to pay 6 to 7 figures for the perfect example. Balance scale. What makes this coin so valuable? Rarity. Very few exist. Error status. Transitional reverse errors are one of the most collectible types. Condition. Mint state or proof-like coins are even more desirable. Historical curiosity. It captures a rare moment when the U.S. Mint made a mistake and didn't catch it in time. Package. Collectors and investors are always looking for coins that tell a story, and this one is a chapter of U.S. coin history that combines mystery, value, and legacy. Eyes. So how do you find one? It's simple, but requires a good eye. White heavy checkmark. Start by checking your 1988 no mint mark pennies. White heavy checkmark. Flip them over and look at the FG initials. White heavy checkmark. If the G touches the Lincoln Memorial, you might have the reverse of 1989. Magnet. Use a magnifying glass, or better yet, a coin microscope to see the details clearly. And if you think you've found one, get it graded and authenticated by a professional service. Who would have thought that a penny from your childhood could be worth over $1 million today? The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change, it's a hidden treasure. So what are you waiting for? Check your change, search your jars, and look through those old coin rolls. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any 1988 pennies you want us to take a look at. We're here to help you discover hidden wealth in your coin collection. We're diving into a modern coin that might just be hiding in your jar right now, the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that shocked collectors by selling for over $1.4 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, a coin from just a few years ago that could make you a millionaire. So stay tuned as we explore what makes this tiny piece of copper so incredibly valuable. Let's start with a bit of history. The Abraham Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the decades, it has gone through several design changes, but Lincoln's iconic profile has always remained on the obverse, or front, of the coin. By 2013, the Lincoln penny was being minted primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker: coins from the Philadelphia Mint typically do not carry a mint mark. So if you find a 2013 penny without any letter under the date, no D, no S, it's from Philly. But don't assume every no-mint mark penny from 2013 is valuable. What sets the rare ones apart is something extra special, and we're going to break it down. The 2013 Lincoln penny features Lincoln's profile facing right, with the word Liberty to the left, and the date 2013 to the right. On the reverse is the Union Shield, introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single, united nation. The coin is made mostly of zinc, with a thin copper coating, weighing 2.5 grams, and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. But hidden within this everyday appearance could be something astonishing. What makes the 2013 no-mint Mark penny so valuable? It's all about the rare minting errors. These are mistakes made during production that slipped past quality control. Let's look at a few that turned ordinary coins into million-dollar treasures. Double die obverse DDO, one of the most famous types of errors. If the date or the word Liberty appears slightly doubled under magnification, you might be holding a gold mine. This happens when the coin isn't aligned correctly in the press. A 2013 penny with a 50% off-center strike and full date visible sold for tens of thousands. Sometimes the die used to strike the coin breaks slightly, leaving behind raised lines or blobs. Collectors go crazy over unique die cracks. They're like fingerprints. No two are the same. Zinc rot or plating bubbles. Though technically a flaw, when severe or oddly shaped, some collectors seek them out for their novelty. One 2013 penny with a rare misaligned die error and pristine condition sold at auction for over $1.4 million. That's life-changing money, from a single cent. Host on camera with real coins and magnifying glass props. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these rare gems? Here's what to do. Look at the date. It should be 2013, with no mint mark. Use a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass to inspect the details. Check for doubling in the text or numbers. Look for weird shapes, cracks, or the coin being off-center. If something looks odd, take high-quality photos and consult a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grading can turn your penny into an investment-grade asset. And remember, condition is everything. The better the state of the coin, no scratches, strong detail, the higher its value. So why would anyone pay over $1 million for a penny? Light bulb, it comes down to rarity, condition, and error uniqueness. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are willing to pay top dollar for one-of-a-kind pieces, especially those from recent years that are unexpectedly rare. It's like owning a modern treasure, a fluke of history that only a few people in the world possess. And because the 2013 Lincoln penny is recent, people are shocked to find it could be worth a fortune, making it even more desirable. So next time you get change back from the store, don't overlook the pennies. That little 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent might just be your lucky ticket to $1 million payday. We're diving deep into the world of rare modern coins, and we're spotlighting the 2020 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that could turn your spare change into serious cash. So grab your coin jar, and let's find out what makes this penny so incredibly valuable. Let's start with a little background. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, a major shift in American coinage history. Fast forward to 2020, and the penny still proudly bears Lincoln's image on the obverse. The reverse features the Union Shield design, introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's efforts to preserve the nation during the Civil War. That's over a century of tradition packed into a 1-cent coin. Now, the D Mint mark on this particular penny means it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities used for striking U.S. coins. It features a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. Just below Lincoln's shoulder, you'll find the D Mint mark, showing it was struck in Denver. The words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 2020 are inscribed clearly on the front. You'll see the Union Shield with a large single horizontal bar and 13 vertical stripes, representing the 13 original states and the strength of the federal government. The words United States of America are proudly displayed at the top, with 1 cent boldly across the shield, and E pluribus unum just above it.at. First glance, this coin looks just like any other. But it's what's beneath the surface, or should I say, what went wrong during production, that can make it a jackpot. Now here's where things get exciting. What makes some 2020 D Lincoln pennies worth thousands, or even millions, are the minting errors. Some of the most valuable error types include: this error happens when the coin die strikes the planchet twice slightly off register. You might notice doubling in the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." These are worth serious money to collectors. This is when the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, so the design is off to one side. If 50% or more is missing but Lincoln's face is still visible, it's a rare and high-value error. Cracks in the die can cause raised lines or bumps on the coin. A large cud, a blob of metal caused by a broken die, can add hundreds or thousands of dollars to the coin's value. Though rare in 2020, sometimes a coin is accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a different year or denomination, like a dime or older penny composition. That's the golden ticket for many collectors. These errors are not only fascinating, they can make a seemingly ordinary coin extraordinarily valuable. Now let's talk numbers. Most 2020 D pennies are only worth their face value, just 1 cent. But the error coins, especially those in pristine condition or graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can command thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. A 2020 D penny with a clear double die obverse and mint state can sell for $1,500 to $5,000. An off-center strike with more than 50% of the design missing has fetched over $10,000.1. Extremely rare mis-struck specimen, graded at MS 67 plus red, was valued at nearly $1 million due to its unique combination of errors and flawless condition. Collectors are always on the hunt for modern mint mistakes, especially from recent years like 2020. With millions of pennies minted, the rare ones really stand out. So why would anyone pay $1 million for a penny? Well, coin collectors prize rarity, condition, historical significance, and unique errors. A coin like the 2020 D Lincoln penny, when it's part of a rare mint error batch, becomes a one-of-a-kind treasure. It's like owning a modern masterpiece, or a flaw in the system that never should have happened. That story, that uniqueness, and the scarcity is what drives the value sky high. Combine that with high collector demand, and you've got a formula for $1 million coin. So, the next time you're sorting through your change, keep your eyes peeled for that shiny 2020 D Lincoln penny. Who knows? You might be holding a hidden gem worth a fortune. Moneybag backhand index pointing right. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a valuable coin tip.